today we're going to be working on episode 2 of the Modathon. What we have out here is our low range transmission and an extra motor complete. We have our red anodized shock bodies, and we also have the metal drive shafts. So I'm going to get these put on today. Start taking the transmission out and the drive shafts out real quick, and then we'll get back to it. Plus a quick recap of what I have done so far. I did do a few things off camera. I did put in the red anodized servo mount from Traxxas. That one was, I personally had done that my first time and I was trying to figure it out, so kind of just did it real quick. And then I also put on the brass wheel hubs. I was going to take the battery tray out right here, these two screws to get to the underneath. Helps out. It's now out. All it was the 4 screws right here. Remove the battery trays screws real quick just to get to it. Boom. Cats being cats. So now our transmission is fully out. Okay, now we have to, actually, I'm just going to keep those on since this is going to be a different motor anyway with the different drive shafts. I'm just going to keep these plastic ones on this one for now. So it does also come with extra screws to put into the drive shafts. The end coupler right here, you find your hole, and then you have to find the hole in the cup. Alright, now with both sides in, all you did is 2 little screws. It was that easy though. Just remove your battery tray with the 2 screws here. Okay, 2 right here. And then you have 4 screws that can take out the transmission. And then all you do is take the 2 little screws. You might have to move your wheel to get this bad boy lined up. You just take that little screw out of little pin out from the drive shaft. You can pop the drive shaft off, take one side out, flip it back over, take your transmission out. There's a larger side and a smaller side because the smaller side goes into the transmissions pins, excuse me, it goes into the actual transmissions pins. So big side goes into the axle, small side goes into the transmission. Okay, so I seem to be struggling after putting both of these in at the same time. So I'm going to take them out, throw them on. As I slip them on, I'm going to put them back in. So we're going to try it that way. So I think we're going to take the time to throw in the metal gears while we're at it. We're already throwing in the metal drive shafts, so I think we're going to add in one extra for today. You have to take off a few pieces, like maybe the long links, and then you should be able to turn a little bit so you can get your screwdriver in there. A nice little tip is all you got to do is take these long links off, and you have a perfect reach to get to the diff covers. That's it. So all it was 2 screws, one on each side, one on this side and one on this side. And there's your and there is your diff set. So we're gonna be taking those out, which I will have to take the wheels off for. After taking both sides of the wheels off, taking the hubs, there are 2 screws on each side. When you take out one of these diff gears, it's going to have these 2 bearings on the sides of them. Okay, so put one bearing on one side and put the other bearing on the other side. Nice and simple. So the first thing you're going to do is you take your smaller gear, you put a shaft in. Okay, be careful of the bearing as well. Make sure to grab a bearing set. I haven't yet, and I am lagging on that. So you just enter in, pops right on through. Okay, now the housing is on this side, so when you're looking at your diff, it's on your left side. So you take the gears, you set them in this way on the left side. Sorry, I'm all like, you set them in like that, your left side. You're gonna grab your little screws. Gonna keep those held in instead of putting the wheels back on. Don't listen to me. I would recommend probably doing a little bit of grease. I'm just gonna throw them in there for now, but definitely recommend some grease in there. So all we got left, throwing the diff cover back on. We have the rear metal diff put in, but now we're gonna do the front. I'm not gonna put you guys through that, so I'm gonna get that done, and then we're gonna work on putting our drive shafts, or metal drive shaft, back on, or on actually. Trying to make a video, we got the kitty cat doing zoomies over here. So kind of do a quick heads up. So you will have to take the steering knuckle. You'll have to take these 2 bolts, or these 2 screws right here, off real quick so that you can get the drive shaft, or the axle, excuse me, so you can get the axle shaft out of the front. It's just 2 quick screws, and then the same thing is these 2 right here, and then the same thing as rear. Now we have our metal diffs on. We have the low gear transmission and a part of the metal drive shafts in, so we're going to continue on with our metal drive shafts as in the beginning. We now have metal axle shafts. We now have metal drive shafts and metal diffs. So I think while we're at with the wheels off, we're gonna go ahead and get done on our shock bodies. That's coming up next. We just have our shock bodies. You can see these are in need of some help, but all together they're a little crunchy too. So we're gonna go ahead and throw on the aluminum red shock bodies here from Traxxas. Boom, boom, part number for you if need be. Super easy to find though. You should not have a problem finding these whatsoever. All up in the accessories tab on Traxxas. Kind of goes in like that. So I gotta get that cup off. I don't know how I'm gonna do that right now. Okay, yeah, I need a tool for this right now. So I'm gonna figure out how I can get these off and then we're gonna come back. So it was a bit difficult getting that bottom cup off, but as soon as I figured something out, I grabbed a pair of pliers with a napkin, crimped the napkin in between, and I set the shock like that. And then I ended up unscrewing the bottom, and then you can pull the whole shock body, or the shock, yeah, you can pull it through up top and then just go backwards from there. So one has been started. Looks really good though. So basically just like this. It might take like a lot. It took a while to break this to turn, and having the grip to turn it. Boom. You take it off. Set your pliers aside. Make sure to drain all the oil. I have it all drained out right here. So boop. Grab a small piece. Push it the rest of the way through. And then voila. You have your internals. So now what I did from there is I grabbed my smallest Allen and just pop this bad boy off real quick. As soon as it gets over the little threshold, the little part that it has, it should come off pretty easily. Then you have your bushings for the oil. There's gonna be a bushing, a small spacer, and then another bushing. When you get the shock bodies, they do come with an instruction manual, so that does help out. It shows you the whole how to do the shock assembly, all the parts and pieces that are in the shock assembly. So Traxxas, thank you for that part. Boom. So we have 2 of the 4. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these put together, just to kind of let you know how it's done. Simple as well, by the way. Put your spring back on, load your spring in, throw in, I put that in upside down, throw in your cup, voila. Looks really good, I like it. Super excited to throw these on, see how it feels, how it runs. Okay, so we're just doing the finishing touches now, where all we're hitting is tightening up the last wheel here. it took me quite a while because I did it all off of learning on my own. So when I get this done next time, it'll go much faster. But it was quite the process. Red shock bodies. The aluminum servo mount was done yesterday. The brass hex hubs. I put the metal diff gears in, plus the metal drive shafts. So all together, and then our biggest one of them all, the low gear transmission. So next video, we're gonna be testing it out, seeing how it looks, seeing how it works. I will be needing some metal links here pretty soon. I'm gonna get some metal high clearance links, and probably eventually I'll get some metal axles, but for now I'm just gonna let those be. They do great as they are. I am waiting for my diff covers and my metal center plate, skid plate here to be coming in. So once I get those in, we'll start on another one and we'll be set, ready to go. I'm just gonna pop my heat sink from last video back onto here and we'll be all set, ready to go for this video. Thank you for tuning in. It's gonna be episode 2 of Modathon. So here we are. Gonna be coming up with some more stuff here pretty soon, and I will have some test runs and a few more videos coming up on it as well. Thank you.